from the last episode.
This is just, sire and child having issues, and I live for it.
And let the vampire story continue.
Hello everyone, this is Outstar, and welcome to another episode of Vampire the Masquerade Swansong, this time with a temporary pop filter made out of my sock on my microphone, so the popping in the microphone is going to be lessened. I really hope that you will enjoy it. Let's see if we can draw a little bit back to the MM's part in order to see a thing we've missed because of the lack of Primogen Edition DLC material from the initial parts of the playthrough. Victoria Ash. Let's see if she awaits us in the Elysium.
Absolutely divine.
All right,
Treasure
Jay.
at the base of
Where
the
are you
mountain.
hiding?
And then there are the palaces, the mosaics,
I
the
know that
gardens,
voice.
and the vibrant youth population.
It must have been busy with the police and all.
They make a lot of noise, but life always finds a way. At night, mostly. At clandestine parties, safe from their batons. Those young people just want to have fun, and their descent has a delicious taste.
I see. Look at them. Just having a little nice conversation for everyone to hear.
Victoria!
MM! My little Rose!
Oh wow.
It's been so long.
An eternity, you mean. And yet, look at you! As splendid as always.
I've learned from the best.
Adorable. How are you? This is a rather depressing night for a reunion.
So Victoria Ash, of course, is a pretty big character in Vampire the Masquerade lore. If you want to read one of my favorite chapters related to Victoria Ash, I really recommend the Camarilla book of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, where the introduction to every single clan chapter starts with Victoria Ash describing how romanceable is each of the clans. So whether romancing a Nosferatu is better than romancing a Toreador, it's such a good passage, it's so fun to read. And Victoria Ash is also involved in a very big political event of the described in the recent books, which is of course her marriage, the blood marriage to Banu Hakim. Maybe we're going to explore some of that in this conversation, we'll see. How are you? Thinking this is a rather depressing night for a reunion. Turn the question around. Let's try it out.
What about you? You chose a bad time to visit us.
Oh, don't remind me. To think I was so happy to return to Boston after so many years. The trip was to be amazing.
Hey, the night's still young. It might be nothing at all.
You're right. Everyone is so tense. It's starting to rub off on me. I hear business is going well for you. Your Black Rattlers are making quite the splash. You can be proud of everything you've accomplished, darling. Your name is on everyone's lips.
Thanks. That means a lot coming from you. I'm really happy to see you again. I wish I had more time to talk.
Is there something stopping you?
You could say that. One of my acquaintances is in hot water with Miss Iverson. I need to help her.
I'm going to give you a piece of advice then. Don't waste your energy helping others.
Hell yeah.
Let others handle their own problems. Their mistakes aren't your business.
So Victoria is functioning to Mem as her Mola, and Mola is a background that you can actually take in Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition as the advantage of your character, where you have this kindred figure that serves as your mentor and in general is very positive towards you, so has a positive attitude towards you. Jay is important to me. Yeah, let's be a Mem. A Mem would say that.
Journey is someone I can trust. I can't let her down now.
Is Journey a prince?
Oopsie.
No.
Then her opinion doesn't matter. The only individuals who should matter to you are royalty. The rest, they're just for decoration.
Oh, Victoria.
Thanks for the advice, Victoria. You've helped put things into perspective.
It's only natural. I'll always be here for you, darling. And I hope the feeling is mutual.
You know it is.
Wonderful. I'm relieved to see that despite the travails of time and distance, our friendship is still intact.
What are you doing in town anyways? The last time I heard about Victoria Ash, she'd just gotten back to Atlanta.
You know I never stay in one place for long. But to answer your question, I came to do business.
For the agreement, I'm guessing.
You guessed right. I'd hoped to meet up with one of my associates tonight, a warlock I'd sent to Hartford. Unfortunately, he still hasn't made his appearance.
He might still come. The night's not over yet.
Oh, you're refreshingly naive. We'll see.
So fun fact, because I had to replay the game from the beginning in order to get to this moment, I took some liberties in character creation, and yes, I know a little bit of cheating, but because I know that we need more technology, I changed MM's stats a bit, just so we can actually explore this level a little bit more. I know, but hey, you cannot blame me, I just want to show you more things. So we do have a little bit different stats than we had originally. Let me see if I can actually... Well, I could use a lot of my willpower here. 93% success. Let's try it out. There we go.
What did you hope your emissary would do? Double-cross Iverson?
Oh, please, MM. I'm just curious, that's all.
Diplomats are rarely sent out without good reason. If you sent someone, then there was something in it for you.
I mean, for sure.
Fine, guilty as charged. I'm very interested in your prince's project. I'd like to transpose it to Atlanta. I contacted the warlocks to try and learn more.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised that Deneb agreed to cooperate with Kindred outside his chantry.
Deneb?
Hartford's regent. I understood that he was the one Hazel was in negotiations with.
Are they really that wary of outsiders?
Warlocks are naturally suspicious of other families, but Osborne? He's unique. Paranoid, eccentric, and highly intelligent. The type of man you can't manipulate.
You seem to know him pretty well.
Well enough to know not to trust him.
This is something that I was talking about in previous episodes. Good that we have the entry added for him now, because he was the one that was supposed to enter the party later with Hazel. And as we know well, the party got broken beforehand. So my suspicion is that Deneb actually might have known about what's going to happen. But maybe not. Maybe he wasn't involved. We'll see. This one.
I imagine you received the alert as well.
Yes, I was with your prince when the message was sent.
Do you have any idea who triggered it?
Alas, I have no idea. Iverson didn't care to share that with me. She knows how to control information.
I'm not even sure she knows herself.
She's going to need answers. I doubt her subjects will wait much longer.
I heard about your wedding. Yes, we did. Camarilla book, if you want to read about it more. But we'll see if I will have to give you a little bit more info after the answer.
I've heard rumors about you. Something about a wedding?
Oh yes, my wedding to Tigurius. It was fabulous. We had a spectacular celebration.
Congratulator.
I think congratulations are in order.
Oh, do you? It's a political marriage. Nothing more. Our family needed it.
You did it for the cam?
You seem surprised to hear it. You may not have noticed, but the Camarilla has lost some of its luster since the Anceli left. Our survival depends on our ability to make compromises.
That was a little bit of simplification, but just to explain to you what she meant, most Ancilian elders, or actually a lot of them, left to the Beckoning, or for other reasons. Basically, leaving cities filled with neonates and younger fledglings, or basically vampires that are not suspected to the Beckoning. So what happened here is Victoria Ash had this political marriage with Tigurius in order to secure the alliance in between Camarilla and Ashira and Banu Hakim clan. In the end, Banu Hakim were known in the previous editions as the Assamites, if you remember them. If you are new to Vampire the Masquerade in general, Banu Hakim are all about that judgment. And you can check out my video on them about this, because I have a con video about Banu Hakim up on my channel already, so you can check it out. What do you think about the cards?
You knew Boston when it was a Malkavian city. What do you think about the
Malkavian?
court now?
Iverson has successfully made her mark.
That's a new.
It can't have been easy, with Quentin's grip on the city.
Boston was on the brink of chaos when Hazel took over. I don't always agree with her methods, but she gets the job done.
She knows what she wants. I respect that. Our family needs more leaders like her. That would be a welcome change from our usual weather vanes.
So as usual, just as a reminder, all of the names in Vampire the Masquerade, the titles, the clan names, the faction names, depend when it comes to the pronunciation on the person that speaks them. So it's okay to say Camarilla, just as it is okay to say Camarilla. It is okay to say Malkavian, as it is to say Malkavian. And there are basically changes depending on who you are, which region you are, which domain you are. This may be pronounced in a different way. Bruja, Bruja. Again, like I remember when I was younger and I, played Redemption and Bloodlines, I saw these differences, but I didn't get. I was like, one of them had to take it wrong, but it is not wrong. It just depends on the domain. These words are appropriated all around the world, and people are just, saying them in their own way. I think Tsimitsi is the best example of this. I'm sure it's being pronounced completely different depending on where you're from and what kind of a Chimishe you have contact with. So yeah, leave.
I'm sorry, but I've gotta go.
I understand. Duty calls, but before you leave, I have a favor to ask you. I mentioned my emissary earlier.
Yes, you did.
If you hear anything about him, please let me know when you get back, would you?
I thought I was only supposed to focus on my prince. Have you had a change of heart?
You're using my own words against me? It's a big favor. I'm aware of that, but I'm a loyal friend, and powerful too. If you can do this for me, I'll owe you one.
Fine. I'll let you know if I learn anything.
Thanks, MM. I hope I'll see you again soon, darling. If you need anything, I'll be right here.
Thanks, Victoria. See you later.
Alright folks, I will be skipping a lot of the parts through which I will be doing the same things as we did before, but if there are any differences, like for example because of the fact we have technology right now, I will make sure to show these parts. So let's fast forward. Alright everyone, so we finished this chapter in the same way as the last time. I did screw up in one thing. I actually invested in technology instead of security, so I couldn't show you the insides of Dijon's office. Maybe we'll go back there in the future, we'll see. Now, when it comes to Victoria Ash, I actually checked to make sure, but there's nothing more in that chapter about her, but she's going to come back and we're going to do this quest for her. We'll try at least. We'll see how it works. Alright, so we have our unstable seer, Leisha. Let's go for free. And let's distribute the points for her. As usual, I think deduction and education is something that we should go for. She has a point in psychology. I think we should give her rhetoric, psychology, absolutely security and technology as well. Literally everything, if we can. And discipline, auspex. Like she's a Malkavian, I think auspex is great for this clan. I am a little bit worried about having only 1 point, and I mean 2 points in psychology, but mostly 1 point in everything, but I think it should be fine. Unfortunately, we cannot up our mental abilities as for now. I feel we'll be good though. If that doesn't work, we'll always upgrade her later on. Let's apply and let's go. Ooh, now she's at the prince.
Leisha, it's good to see you.
She didn't address the girl.
Be good, sweetie.
How was your reunion with Halsey?
Thank you, Hazel. Your gift was wonderful. You shouldn't have troubled.
You're welcome. We should never have kept you apart for this long.
Good evening,
weird.
Delson.
Good evening, Leisha.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. better and better since I got my little sugar fangs back.
Wonderful.
Sure.
I haven't seen Richard yet. Does he know I've been released from the Institute?
No, I'm the prince. It was my decision. He is your psychiatrist, but you don't need his permission for everything.
He wasn't at the party, was he?
I'm searching for everyone who's still missing. Don't worry about him.
Thank you.
Leisha, I know I can be frank with you. For 4 years, I have been working to heal the city's wounds. You've already helped me avoid traps in the past.
Say nothing about not remembering it.
You're not like the other children of Malkav. Quentin King knew that.
The Mad King. I remember, yeah.
I had you released from the Institute because your premonitions are the most detailed, the most accurate. I wanted them to help me understand the Chantry's hand more clearly before we signed our agreement with them. But this alert changes everything. I need to understand what's just happened. Did you sense anything, possibly about what happened tonight?
We can lie, or we can... I guess we should do this thing. Although we don't know for sure if this has nothing to do with it. Oh, bear with me. There's actually sun coming in and I don't want to burn, so I'm going to close the curtains. Oh, way better, not dying to the sun. Alright, yeah?
I saw images, but they had nothing to do with this party. It didn't make any sense. It was a long, white hallway.
It's a little early for sure, but it's a good start.
I'm sorry, I can't be of more help.
Don't be sorry. There's something else you can do for me. Your discretion can still be of use to me. I need to be sure that none of the members of my council are going to take advantage of the situation.
Oh.
You don't trust them?
Timer.
You can never be too careful. You and Delson are the only two people I trust entirely. The members of the council have their council lodgings here. It gives them the impression that they have power, and it means I can keep an eye on them. I'm going to give you the key.
So we can
Go
check
and
the
see
offices.
if you find anything that could make me doubt their loyalty. Anything that might make me think there's something in the works.
Wow.
All right.
Miss Drury burned the midnight oil to make sure this event was secret. I imagine there might be some evidence in the information she gathered. I need it.
All right, consider it done.
You've never disappointed me, Leisha. Please don't start today. Until then, I hope to have found more information. But above all, don't share what we've discussed with anyone. I don't need more gossip.
Can I take Halsey with me?
Of course.
All right then. I'll be right back.
We are being so manipulated and it's horrible. Like, every single thing Hazel said to Leisha here was just like, you're not like other Malkavian. You are one of the most trusted people I know. I don't trust almost anyone as much as I trust you. You don't need your psychiatrist, you only need me. Wow. We are in Jara's office. Oh, hi, MM. We're snooping on our other character, I see. She didn't see her, of course. I mean, she's obfuscated, but I have some doubts about the little girl. Stay focused. Give into permission. Stay focused.
No fucking way. Shit. So this is where you've been hiding.
Oh, Jesus, it's you. You scared the shit out of me. How did you find me?
You're really bad at covering your tracks.
Are you alone?
What the hell is going on?
Shit, Mem. It's a fucking nightmare.
We've seen the whole scene as Leisha. Alright, good to know. This is fun, spying on the other characters that you control as well.
Mom? Mom, I'm going to Richard's to see if he has my teddy.
Okay.
Come and find me when you're done.
I hope Journey hasn't come looking for the same thing as me.
Where are you? The time has come. Password animal. Arrival. Sorry. I was like animal. It looks like animal here. I'm happy I read it by clicking. Oh, what's there? We moved something here. Weekly Close Protection Reports 2019. Subject Mr. Jason Moore. July week 1. Report submitted by Mr. Wu. NSTR. Night visit from Mr. Hazel Everson accompanied by Delson Coates on Tuesday. Report submitted by Mr. James. A wife and child went to Costa Rica for 2 weeks. Night visit from Mr. Beryl Underwood on Thursday. Alright, we have night visit from Mr. Beryl Underwood 2 times, Tuesday and Thursday. Family came home. Mr. Moore wants a little more privacy. Wife and child went to Costa Rica for 1 week. Night visit from Mr. Beryl Underwood on Friday. Mrs. Moore left again the day after she got back from Costa Rica. The child is upset. Mr. Moore has trouble concentrating. The subject must be experiencing the conjugal disputes. Okay. Jason Moore again is the mortal, which is serving Kindred as their daily operator, kind of. So that's why there are so many Kindred visiting. It's interesting that someone was actually checking on Jason. We have these findings there. Anything more here? What do we have there? We can bypass lock. I mean, we don't need to, because I guess arrival is the password, right? Okay, that's the code. Well, we'll find it. It's fine. It's a numerical code. What do we have here? Examine.
A log with a list of everything that was checked for the party. Invoices, reservations, rentals. All from our network.
Can I check it out in our inventory here? File containing all the documents that prove that Journey did not neglect safety while organizing this event. So she was looking for that and she said that it was gone. But it was just there. I guess she didn't find it? We'll see.
It's Journey's. That's what she was looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So, because I thought that someone took it to cover the tracks and basically blame everything on Journey. But if we found it, then I guess Journey is going to be safe.
This thing's old. Does she still use it?
Yeah, perhaps. She's a vampire. Vampires use old stuff. Yeah, I mean, I could bypass this log, but I'm also like, what if we don't? What's there? Summary of the individual files in the Hartford Chantry. Mr. Osborne, regent of the Hartford Chantry, ambitious and paranoid, extremely skilled in thaumaturgy, favors unification but mentions escape routes in his private communications. To be monitored, visits the Jefferson Library once a month. Miss Wakefield, John Ree's child. She's a secretive mind control specialist who supports Mr. Osborne unconditionally, although he continues to be wary of her. She supports the unification to support the choice of her regent. Mr. Samuels, child of Upton Rowlands. This blue blood is pragmatic, well-versed in insurance finance. He is the head of thriving business and seems to have moved to Boston on a part-time basis, residing at the Jefferson Library. Our intelligence indicates that he's there to ensure the financial balance of the agreements to be signed, which is rather in favor of. Okay. Mr. Fleming, he specializes in poison and is Osborne's personal bodyguard. He has been on several blood hunts and has recently moved to the library. We believe that he is there to protect the warlocks in the event of a retreat. According to our sources, he is opposed to the agreement because he harbors a strong personal resentment towards Dajan Siaka. Fleming and Siaka have that pass in between each other. Miss Vance has lived in Boston since the creation of the Hartford branch in Boston, unknown sire. Specializes in high-level protection rituals. Little information available. The party will be her first outing from the library, if she accepts the invitation. We need more to research her background. Okay. Mr. Woods, child of Deneb Osborne, resides in Hartford, is new to thaumaturgy but shows very good skills in memory magic, still under the authority of his sire, and therefore in favor of the agreement made with us. Mr. Green resides in Hartford, child of Mrs. Wakefield, nothing to report, was embraced 2 years ago, kept his family, his job as a research chemist. Report indicates that he is pro-unification. Mr. Chen was selected by the Chantry to come and work at the Red Salon and conduct experiments on blood stabilization. Extensive experience in thaumaturgy. The report indicates that he is in favor of the unification, but for his own interest, he only feeds in blood banks. Miss Halstead was selected by the Chantry to come and work at the Red Salon and conduct experiments on blood stabilization, specialized in blood storage rituals. The report indicates that she is rather reticent about the unification, afraid to share her knowledge, suspicious of Boston. Okay. List of vessels? Do we know anyone from this list? I don't not recognize any of these names. Intelligence on the Hartford Chantry. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the thaumaturges were influential throughout New England, but they also experienced dark times, seeing their power erode over the years, primarily due to the encroachment of Sabbat members from northern and western New England during this period. Some elder Tremere believe that at least one of the major convents allied with the Sabbat to bring about their downfall, though few agree on which of the three major convents is most to blame. The loss of status suffered by the entire family is a wound that still runs deep today and has led to the great dislike of the Sisters of Salem. Operating primarily out of Chapel in Hartford, the thaumaturges have had an ongoing competition with the Ventru coteries for dominance in the state and have been quick to exploit any opportunity. Thus, when the Prince of New Haven and Hartford came to them for help in early 1900s, they graciously accepted. Wisely, they have not yet recalled the debt the Ventru owe them, but that is likely to happen soon. Indeed, as a result of the unification agreement with Boston, the Chantry will greatly increase its political and economic clout over the Hartford domain. Within the Chantry itself, prestige is highly prized, and competition within the upper echelons of the hierarchy is so fierce that more thaumaturges are lost to internal strife than to past clashes with the Sabbat. This is largely due to the fact that Deneb Osborne, despite his understanding behavior, jealously guards his positions and makes it impossible for his apprentices to progress. Whenever a warlock seems to be on the verge of unlocking a new mystery, they are often replaced by a less talented one. Wow! The Tremere, right? Today, their Boston branch is mysterious and impenetrable despite our best efforts. We think it would be wise to require a visit to the Chantry as a sign of trust. Our intelligence reports numerous disappearances of mortals in the vicinity of the building, which fortunately have gone unnoticed so far.
This is what Hazel asked me to bring her.
Interesting. Alright, so we have Jara's notebook, but we still need to check out the Primogen's places, and we absolutely still have to check out this thing. I'm going to still look around this place to see whether we can get a numeric code for the PC. There's nothing here? For sure? No. What about this? Checking with Auspex to make sure I don't miss anything. Jara, I would have liked to give you this bond that you've been waiting for so long, but I can't bring myself to condemn you to my situation. But don't be afraid. I will never abandon you, Jara. Never. We're bound together forever. We are one. Since that first night, the first instant. Nothing can keep us apart. I promise. Kay. Kay. Who the hell is Kay? Boston. Do we have anyone? No, there's no one with K in the name. That's interesting. I want to read a little bit now that we are here about Leisha and Halsey, so we get a little bit more background about them. Leisha, date of embrace 1939. That which remains. Leisha's story is nothing more than a collection of fragments due to her memory impairment. She remembers that she is from France, near Lyon, and that Dr. Richard Dunham is her psychiatrist, as he has always been. She knows that he saved them from the war in 1931, both her and her daughter Halsey. He made it possible for them to join the Boston Court, held at the time by Quentin King, a child of Malkuth like them. The rest is nothing but light and shadow. Leisha knows the names and sometimes even the stories of those around her, without knowing exactly how or why. That's premonition. She remembers Quentin King, the previous prince, and his legendary obsessions, and more recently Hazel, the first year of her rise to power. Leisha remembers her warmly and fondly, despite only knowing her for a single year before leaving to be put into slumber at the Malkav Institute of Boston, as prescribed by Dr. Dunham. Leisha suffers from her sudden visions, where the present moment and possible futures bleed into one another. She fights her gift in order to be fit to take care of Halsey. However, this does not serve the prince's plans, as Hazel views this power as a way to master fate and bolster her ambitions. Well, premonition is super useful. It's a level 2 Auspex ability in the role-playing setting, and you can take it no matter which clan you are. It's not only for the Malkavian, but what it does is it actually gives you these like flashlights of knowledge, premonitions that tell you something maybe about the upcoming future. It's something very useful at the role-playing table, especially loved by storytellers, that sometimes, the coterie is clueless of what to do, and it's always useful to have one person with premonition, so the storyteller can just give them a little vision of what can potentially happen and lead them the right way. It's super fun. So what about Halsey? Malkavian, generation 11th? Let me just check out something. Do you see what I see? Leisha is generation 12 and Halsey is generation 11th. I'm just going to put it out there. So that means that either Leisha is not Halsey's sire, it could be the other way around. Halsey could be Leisha's sire actually, or maybe Halsey Diablo reads someone. That's also like potentially a thing. Halsey is Leisha's daughter. Her Malkavian nature has kept her mind that of a little girl. For Halsey, everything must be a game, hide and seek, a story, but above all, everything must be done with her mother, from whom she does not like to be separated. It's all weird, so I don't know what's up with Halsey yet. Maybe she's not real, just because of Hazel not actually addressing her in the prince room. That was a little bit weird to me. So, yeah. I don't know yet what's up with Halsey, but I have my suspicions. Let's check this out. Right, so we still don't have the PC password. Should I just use my willpower there? So I was looking around super closely and I think I found it. Have you seen the picture behind it? It actually has a number on it. It's super hard to notice if your monitor is darker, but it says 1841 in here. So we're going to check out if this works, alright? That was fun. I was just like looking around, like maybe there's something on this picture. No, maybe there's something there. Like, all right, 1841. Let's see. This was pretty misleading because I thought the clocks are actually something that indicates that. But hey, we had to find something different. 1841. Oh yeah, there we go. From Caius to me, as you wish. From me to Caius. About Quincy Market. Caius, I never reconsider anything without new evidence. If you have any, please send it to me. And not on a computer, you know how I feel about them. Miss Drury, I have already told you about my need to investigate the Quincy Market case. I know that you disagree with my theory, but an aborted attack on the prince is not to be taken lightly. Could you please reconsider your position, K? So is K Caius? Huh. I guess so. I don't know any other K in this game so far. Miss Drury, I picked up a signal that appears to be an unauthorized outbound call. Could you come and see me as soon as possible so that I can give you the details? Did you try to access my computer? No, I can't imagine anyone being able to hack into your computer since you change your password every 3 days. Besides, I thought you preferred handwritten notes. That's not something I'm willing to joke about. Okay. Well, I think maybe it's K, but they don't seem to have a very nice email exchanges. I know you ordered my computer to be searched. You don't have to monitor me like this. What good am I to you if you don't trust me? Jara, if someone is trying to search your computer, believe me, the order didn't come from me. I have my confidence in you, and I urge you to have the same confidence in me. Finally, in the future, I would appreciate it if you did not make such sweeping accusations without proof. If you have any concerns, please come and speak to me. Sincerely yours, your prince. I rely on myself to protect what needs to be protected, and I have my own ways of keeping myself safe from the undue curiosity. Okay. Interesting. Sophia, it is precisely 10 p.m. I'm heading to the party. I'm leaving Caius Leto in charge. You know the procedure, let everyone know. Have a good night, Jared Rory. Okay, so Caius wasn't on the party, but Jara went to the party, right? Recent secure transmissions. Should I remember these codes? I'm going to take a picture as usual. Just make sure we have that saved. Alright, the codes are here. I'm not sure if I'm going to need them, but in case I do, I'll have them. Password arrival, I will remember about this. Let's go forward. And let's see if we can actually check out some more places here. Can we go here? No, not. What about this place which was locked to us when we were playing as MM? We would have to pick lock. Our security is not high enough, but maybe we can find a card for this. We have a key here. There we go. Should check out the upstairs.
Sorry, council members only.
I see. Council members only. Is that a little wink to the previous game that they did? If you haven't played the council, it's actually super fun.
If I can do anything to help, let me know.
Not the VTM game, but I think it could be a VTM game if you really want to. Use key. Could be use key on Dejan as well. I haven't
Hazel
checked.
told me to keep a low profile here. This area is reserved for the prince and her primogen.
Well, we'll make sure to keep a low profile then.
Shit. Hilda's in her office. She's going to see me.
Mask of Stealth. Obfuscate. Unseen passage. An unseen passage allows you to move around without being seen. In this state, it is not possible to physically interact with the environment. You may, however, stealthily read a document or examine an object. This power will be activated automatically if you enter a location that is prohibited. Okay. Good to know. Speaking of which, we have Hilda in here and I don't... Ooh, she's painting her child. That's cute. I don't think we have read about Hilda just yet, so let's do it. Hilda. Toreador 1788, that's an old Toreador of generation 11th, sire Marie Marguerite Cahot de Rosemont. I nailed it, I know it. Paternal support. Hilda was born in Boston in 1754. Her father, Dr. Aaron McAndrews, was a professor of chemistry and medicine. Enlisted in the Navy as an officer, he was taken prisoner in England during the Revolutionary War and gradually fell in love with the country. After his release, he continued to voyage to the British Isles. He would, on certain occasions, bring along his daughter Hilda, the young painting prodigy, convinced her career would flourish there. This was how Hilda came to take up an apprenticeship in France, under the tutelage of Adelaide Labille-Gouillard, a great painter of miniatures and pastels. Rebirth. There she met Marie-Marguerite Cahot de Rosemont, an apprentice like herself. The two young women fell in love almost immediately. Driven by the fearlessness of her youth, Marie-Marguerite flouted her prince's authority and sired Hilda only 2 years after her own embrace. She lost her own life for not keeping the traditions until... Oh no! Okay, so the tradition, we haven't read them in detail back when we found them in the files, but this tradition is about not siring without the agreement with the leader of your domain. So you gotta seek approval to sire another. Marguerite sires Adelaide, aware of the young woman's talent, successfully interceded with the prince on behalf of Hilda and officially adopted MacAndrews. She became Hilda's mentor by proxy. Adelaide was a strong woman and a pioneer in her art. Having faced misogyny and slander, she was an activist for equality between men and women at the end of the American Revolution. She passed on her feminist convictions to her apprentice, who, forced to paint under a number of male pseudonyms in Europe, was chomping at the bit for the fame that her gender prevented her from attaining. Hilda nurtured a desire to take revenge on society, both mortal and vampire. She traveled across Europe to meet the feminists who rose up during the 19th and 20th centuries. In particular, she marched alongside Emmeline Parkhurst's suffragettes. The time of her initial career, I guess, was Romanticism era in Europe, where there's actually I don't believe many famous female painters from this era. It was way more difficult to get acknowledged as a female painter. I think it was the time when the female painters are seen still as, a pastime and not actually a career. Never again. She met MM in 1923, and for the first time since Marie's destruction, Hilda finally felt that she was no longer alone. MM's enthusiasm rekindled the spark of passion within her, and it took little time for her to fall deeply in love with the young woman. Hilda waited 3 years, however, before revealing her vampiric nature to her. That was a long time of keeping it from your loved one. Like, you only met at night? That was interesting. 6 years later, she finally embraced MM, sealing their fates together forever. So she didn't want to copy the mistake of her sire, who died without having an approval for siring, and she had to wait this long. The couple lived in Vienna until they were driven by the shadow of Nazi Germany to the French border, where Hilda hoped to find refuge. Alas, the progress made by German troops forced her to reconsider her plan. In 1940, she resumed contact with her sire Adelaide and begged the London court for help. Queen Anne summoned her. After tough negotiations, Hilda was granted permission to settle in Boston, then under the reign of Prince Quentin King III. The London court helped her leave for Cape Cod, which was held by a thriving trader community. However, if Hilda hoped to be able to reconnect with her art and continue her relationship as they had done in Europe, it was not to be. MM won over a new public in New England, and all the kindred were enraptured by her. Hilda lived in her shadow. As MM regained a taste for things after difficult departure from France, Hilda became embittered and somber. The contrast between them increased, and they seemed to become a more mismatched couple day by day. Hilda refused to live apart from MM, despite their artistic incompatibilities. Nevertheless, she felt the looks from her clan began to change. She received the embarrassed smiles and downturned faces as she passed them. Her relationship with MM finally came to an end in March 1990, amidst resentment and regret. Advisor McAndrews. After their separation, MM left the court to live on fringes of the kindred territory, while Hilda remained firmly embedded in Boston's high society. Coping with Quentin King's madness and brutal reign, McAndrews maneuvered to gain visibility and power. In 2014, as the beckoning began to win over the city's oldest leaks, Hilda established herself as one of the Boston's last figures of power. Along with Beryl Underwood and Richard Dunham, she conspired to appoint Quentin King's successor and was made part of the Primogen Council. The cohabitation with Hazel Iverson proved to be more complicated than anticipated. At first convinced that she had found the ideal puppet to dangle over the city's throne, Hilda quickly realized that Iverson is not the young, easily manipulable woman she hoped to influence. Quite the contrary. I see, this is so cool. Alright, so we get the full background of Hilda and Mem and Hazel now. I'm going to read more as the time comes, but as for now, I'm going...
I shouldn't get too close. She might be able to sense me.
Alright, let's check this out just very slowly. See what's going on around in there. Let me check out... I can listen carefully to her.
Why did you come back? Why? Other than to show that you're doing just fine on your own.
Aww.
If you only knew everything I've done for you. Mem.
Hilda's more concerned with the Mem than she is with Hazel. I hope she'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah, I mean...
The other advisors might be hiding things from her.
This seems to be very much a Tornado thing. We did spy on her, but I really want to spy on her a little bit more. It's a beautiful painting. It seems like she really has, you know, it still has feelings for... Oh, look at this! It's a picture of the protagonist of The Cancel, the previous game that Big Bad Wolf made. That's so cute! So they are actually canoning this universe, you're saying? That's fun. Let's see what do we have here. The creator of the Rosemont Society. We would like to confirm that the engraving The Battle of the Plains has arrived intact. To our great satisfaction. This acquisition will also make us confident that our future transactions will be fruitful. We are most appreciative. Okay. Oh, there's something here. November 4th, 1926. You must forgive me. I must admit that I went too far, but you left me no choice. You don't understand what's going on inside me. I can't stand the thought of you watching me grow old, imagining that you'll go on alone without me after I'm gone. I don't want to just tell you that I could die for you. I want to be able to show everyone that I died for us. I know you're angry. I understand that you're risking your neck if I keep urging you to make me your partner for eternity without permission. So ask for it. If you love me, I beg you, ask for it, or I end up dying anyway. Because without you, life will be of no interest anymore. I know that. Hilda, I love you, and you're the only one who could let me add forever to it. For real. You're a mem. Oh my goodness. Alright, so MM was pressuring Hilda to embrace her, but Hilda didn't want to repeat the mistake of her own sire, who died because of her embracing Hilda. This is so cool. Also, this bathtub is so cool. I want this bathtub. I want it. It must be super cool to have like a half translucent bathtub. Oh, for photos, I guess. Alright, can I get out of the obfuscate here, please? No, I cannot. Okay, so I cannot check these things out because oh no. So although she wouldn't see me, I guess, but unfortunately because we are in the unsafe zone, we cannot unobfuscate. What's being written there? Oh, Hilda May Andrews, so it's just her signature, I see. What if I actually walked closer to Hilda? Get out of the obfuscate here, right? But if I go inside, okay, this automatically turns on, so that's why I cannot check out her PC there. Maybe there's a way, maybe I'm just missing something. We'll see. What do we have here? Beryl Underwood office. You know what? I'm actually going to leave that one for the next episode because Beryl seems to be interesting and also a piece of ass, and I really want to get some intel on the guy. If there's any way for me to just undermine him in front of a prince, I'm going to use it so much. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Don't get lost in the night and see you in the next one. Goodbye.